Does it matter what you say? External attentional cues and landing technique. So the aim of this presentation is really to evaluate some of the empirical data in regard to the effectiveness of external attentional cueing as that pertains to landing technique. We're going to outline some of the theoretical underpinnings associated with attentional cueing and also focus on some of the areas of good practice that can be applied in a practical training scenario or rehabilitation scenario. However, what I am going to argue is that actually, whilst there is not enough empirical evidence to support a binary decision in regards to landing technique, okay, the preponderance of evidence, okay, that is very much supportive of externally related attentional cueing. So what is attentional focus? So essentially, motor skill execution requires a cognitive focus. So basically, you have to think about it, okay, in order to learn it. So the cognitive process, okay, is often augmented, okay, by using verbal instructions and also feedback, hence attentional focus. Okay, and we've got some research which suggests that effectively motor skills can be enhanced with training and also instruction. So the cognitive focus can either be internal or it can be external. So how do we move from suboptimal performance to one of high performance? Well, let's have a look at these two athletes, okay? Both are doing both are jumping, both are doing a vertical jump, okay? And you'll see that their landing technique is very, very different. So you see on the right side, okay, that knee goes into a valgus position when he lands. So this athlete's been cued externally. Okay. Very different landing technique. External focus. So we've got over 40 years of data, okay, in studies, which effectively says that an external focus is far superior to an internal focus from a skill acquisition and also motor skill learning perspective. So which is which? In essence, okay, an external cue, okay, focuses on some outcome goal or some other extraneous environmental variable. Okay, and often, okay, it is very much rich in description, rich in direction, and also rich in distance. Okay, so for example, if we had someone coming out of the blocks, okay, during the acceleration phase of a sprint start, we might say explode out of the blocks towards the finish line, as an example, and that would be very much an external focus. Okay, if we took an internal focus with the same activity, we might say something along the lines of push through your feet. So what you can see here is that in essence, the athlete's attention is focused toward their body parts or some other internal bodily sensation. And that is the difference and the essence between external and also internal attentional cueing. So what is the theory that actually underlies, okay, the benefits, dare I say, of external attentional cueing? Well, essentially, it's the constraint action hypothesis as advocated by Wolf et al. Okay, and in essence, what it says is if we take an internal focus, okay, in terms of the language that we use with an athlete, okay, to affect some type of motor skill acquisition and change, okay, what this will do is it will constrain the athlete's autonomic motor pathways, and it will interfere with automatic processing. So, for example, if we ask them to contract their bicep muscle, what we're likely to see is some cognitive interference, which results in reduced accuracy, slower movements, cold contractions, and generally depressed motor performance. Whereas actually, if we use an external focus, okay, the process appears to be much more automatic and also automated. Now, how do we know when actually motor learning has taken place? Well, fundamentally, okay, the evidence suggests that when it's implicit, okay, and it just happens, okay, that's when we're most likely, okay, to garner the most benefit during a motor skill task. And essentially, we've got two pathways. We've got two learning pathways and also two memory-based pathways. Okay, one is implicit and one is explicit. When we look to explicit pathways, essentially what we're talking about is actually generating knowledge, which is very much based upon facts, rules, and actually is very much declarative in nature. So it's very, very cognitive focused and very, very memory heavy. So if you can imagine, if we want something to be relatively automated, we don't really want to have to think about it, we just want it to happen, okay? And fundamentally, when we're talking about motor skill acquisition and performance, we want it to happen and we want it really to be explicit, or as best as we possibly can get to that. So when we talk about explicit, and we think that external attentional cues, okay, is more likely to foster an implicit learning memory stroke pathway, okay, this is where we see this idea of self-organization. The movement becomes much more innate, it's much more subconscious, and fundamentally it just happens, okay? And this is what we're essentially attesting to when we're talking about when we're talking about explicit versus implicit memory pathways and also learning. So what about the problem? So what is the problem that we have currently in regards to landing technique from a rehabilitation or a motor performance perspective? Essentially what we have is we have a high prevalence of non-contact anterior cruciate ligament injuries within invasion sports. And with that, okay, we have some evidence to suggest that actually suboptimal landing technique is cited as one of the causes in regards to the genesis of this particular injury. We also have some specific kinematic and also kinetic data and variables which have been implicated in the genesis of this particular injury. And we can see in this picture here, this unfortunate athlete, okay, female athlete, she lands from a jump, okay, the knee goes into a valgus position and the rest is effectively history, okay. She then goes on to develop a non-contact anterior cruciate ligament injury as a consequence of her landing technique or suboptimal landing technique thereof. So in regards to the research, in regards to landing mechanics and also attentional cues, okay, we do actually have some research, okay? So there was a systematic review in 2018 which was conducted, okay, and what it essentially did was it basically scoured the research, okay, to look for as many studies as it could, okay, which used augmented information, okay, to reduce ACL injury incidents, okay, during jump landings. So of that, they found 18 studies rather. Now, what's interesting is most of these studies found that attentional cueing led to technical changes in biomechanical risk factors, because that's fundamentally what they were looking for. They were trying to see whether they could change biomechanical risk factors from either a kinetic or from a kinematic perspective. So the key findings essentially was that internal and external cueing improved immediate skill acquisition. And there's an important point here, it was immediate skill acquisition. So during that particular practice, it improved. However, there were some limitations, and some of the limitations really were that the vast majority of the studies were not comparing internal versus external attentional instructions. Okay, and this is a common finding in many landing studies. Okay, so what they do is they combine both internal and also external cueing together, okay, as an intervention, rather than looking at one compared to the other. Now, there's practicalities associated with that from a practice setting, because that's often what we do in practice. We use both internal and also external cueing. However, okay, the substance of the presentation today is external cueing better than internal cueing? So, in essence, from this systematic review, okay, there isn't really enough evidence to support external cueing in isolation. Okay, but also as well, there were limitations associated with this particular systematic review. Firstly, the quality of many of the studies was actually quite poor. Okay, and this is a consistent finding that we tend to find in systematic reviews. It's all good and well to have a systematic review, but actually the quality of the studies that are actually within that particular review will fundamentally influence, if you like, will fundamentally influence, the way that you place in regards to evidentially, okay, that information and how that relates to your practice. So of the 18 studies, okay, involved in this involved in the systematic review. Only one was a controlled randomized trial where the investigator was blinded to all of the experimental conditions. So again, this brings in the risk of bias, effectively, and systematic error. Also, in regards to testing methodology, okay, many of the studies only used 2D motion analysis. Okay, many of them did not use 3D motion analysis and force plates. So again, there's questions about the accuracy, okay, of the information that they were actually gaining, which then went into this systematic review. Other limitations, okay, in regards to skin marker placement, many of the studies did not report, okay, their reliability, okay, for skin marker placement. Now we can assume that actually, okay, they are reliable, but we probably shouldn't, because again, we have this chance of introducing systematic bias. 56% of the study did not include a retention test. Now that's important because effectively all we can really say is that immediately after the intervention or during the intervention, there is a change in performance, but actually we don't know whether that lasts 1 day, 1 week, or 2 months down the road because there was no retention test. Also, as well, when we talk about the effect size, when we look at the effect sizes, what we see is that the effect sizes are significantly greater if they use a subjective measure of performance. So if they use the coach's eye or the therapist's eye, we see that actually the effect sizes are significantly greater than if that particular study used, say, a objective marker, so a objective validated measure of landing technique. Okay, so again, there is the risk, okay, of systematic error being introduced into many of these studies. So really, you might argue that actually, is this safe to base our practice on? Okay, when actually the quality of the study in the systematic review, okay, was really questionable. Okay, so we have one study which was conducted a year later after the systematic review, and what we find actually is that this study is an intervention study that actually compares, okay, external versus internal cueing, okay, during a landing technique. So these guys were youth rugby players, and in essence, what they did, they asked the players to jump off a box and also to land. What they measured essentially was ground reaction forces using a force plate. Okay, and what we see in essence, okay, which actually went against, okay, the preponderance of gross motor skill research, was that actually internally focused compared to external focus, there was no clinical significance and definitely no statistical significance, okay, between the two groups. Okay, there was like a 3% difference, okay, in mean impact forces. However, when they added a secondary task, so when the athletes were asked to jump off a box and then to jump again directly after the first jump, what we see is that actually, okay, there was a 25% increase in ground reaction forces for the internally focused group and only a 4% increase, okay, in ground reaction forces for the externally related group. Now that is quite significant, okay, and that actually makes a big difference for us. So based upon that one study, okay, it would suggest that actually a externally related cue, okay, during a secondary task, okay, may be more beneficial or maybe more appropriate, okay, than a internally related task. However, there are limitations. The first limitation is there was no power analysis, okay, was undertaken. So it's difficult to know if the sample size was appropriate, okay, was appropriate to justify the change. So what are the practical implications? So in essence, okay, the language that we use, okay, appears to be very, very important in terms of allowing the athlete to selectively, okay, attune their attention. Now, we touched on before, we can use descriptors, okay, we can use direction, and we can also use distance, okay, to influence the external cue. So in this particular video, okay, we have a young athlete, okay, and we have used tape, okay, to cue a particular movement. So we placed blue tape around her hips and we placed red tape around her knees, okay. The cue for her really descriptively was, okay, I want you to position the tape behind your knees when you land. Okay, there are obviously other descriptors that we can use, but by doing that, the description we use is is one of the coloured tape. The direction is behind, and the distance is also behind as well. And let's see what she does. And so what we're hoping for is that actually by using direction, distance, and also description, okay, that will somehow improve her implicit learning. So in conclusion, without cognitive attention, learning is very difficult, if not impossible. There's not enough direct evidence from Landing studies to support one approach at the exclusion of another. But we do have an accumulation of research, okay, from general gross motor skills that suggest that external cueing may be more superior to internal cueing.